So this is the Goodwill Bridge. It connects Brisbane CBD to South Bank and via the Kangaroo Point Bikeway to the V1 Veloway to the southern suburbs. It's far and away the busiest cycle and pedestrian bridge we've got in the city. It carries around 10,000 people on weekends, anything up to 13,000 people based on previous counts. And that includes mostly pedestrians, so around 8,000 pedestrians, 7,000 to 8,000 pedestrians a day, 2,000 cyclists and 1,000 odd e-scooters, so it's extremely busy. So it was built in 2001 for the Goodwill Games, which was in honour of the fact that Brisbane was the first city outside the United States to hold the Goodwill Games, and it also happened to be the last city to ever host the Goodwill Games. So hey, this bridge is a bit of a legacy for that non-existent event.
The gods of sport in our own backyard.
I'm ready to prove I'm still the best in the world, and I'm going to do it in your backyard.
So at the time it was being built, there was a lot of criticism about it. A lot of people thought it'd be a waste of money and a white elephant. It's not going to carry cars, no one's going to use it, right? Well and truly proven wrong there. And that's a theme to remember for any active transport project when people say it's not going to get used. They're wrong. Now, if you saw my recent video about the Goodwill Bridge and its ridiculous 10 kilometres per hour speed limit, you'll know that I noted that the Goodwill Bridge has a 20 kilometre per hour speed limit. However, prior to 2017, that wasn't the case. This one also had a 10 kilometre per hour marked limit. So when they resurfaced the bridge in 2017, they increased that speed limit to 20. Previously, before the resurfacing, it was also demarcated more like the Goodwill Bridge. It just had a line down the middle, you know, traffic going one way and the other, and it was a shared path. But for that 2017 resurfacing, they decided to try something a bit different and put in some soft modal separation. So the way they decided to do that was to have pedestrian paths on the outside and a centre advisory cycle lane. So the idea being that pedestrians would keep to the left on each side and cyclists could use the middle section to overtake, and that would keep things moving, keep things going fairly safely. Unfortunately, there was an unintended consequence of the initial resurfacing. The paint that they used was very slippery in the slightest moisture from rain. So they actually had to come back and repaint it twice more before they could deal with the slipping problem. It was a bit embarrassing for the Department of Public Works. And so I suppose to butter people up a little bit, given all the money spent and time spent resurfacing, they decided to make it Queensland themed and have maroon on the outside and grey on the inside. So there's a bit of state of origin there. But all we really wanted was a surface that didn't make us fall off our bikes. And they've achieved that. But does the soft modal separation work? Let's have a look. I've been observing the flow on the Goodwill Bridge here for, I don't know, 15 minutes now. I think what I found is people pretty much stick to the way it's designed. So the outer sections, which are sort of softly intended to be for pedestrians are pretty much walking in that direction. They're sticking to the left side of the bridge, so if they're going southbound, they're on that side, northbound, they're on that side. And cyclists are pretty much, and scooter riders are pretty much staying in that middle section. Even though it's only an advisory cycle lane, there's nothing preventing pedestrians from using it, nor cyclists from going on as far left on the own section as they want. But people are picking up the cues that that's how it's supposed to work. And it's probably a lot of people here are city workers or local residents, so they have got used to how it's supposed to work. What I've also noticed, which has been really nice, is some kids in wheelchairs getting pushed. Not that they're in wheelchairs is a good thing, but the Queensland Children's Hospital is just over the other side of the bridge, so obviously this is used so that they can get some time out of hospital, come across into the Botanic Gardens and get some fresh air and time away from hospital. So I mean, that's a good thing, and that shows that infrastructure like this, it's not just about cyclists or e-scooters or commuting. You know, it's a really valuable public infrastructure for people to use. So I think this is working fairly well. Some people would actually prefer to have a formal cycleway and formal pedestrian path, but I don't actually think it's necessary. I think it works like this, and I think that's a good thing. Anyhow, I think this is a really good bridge, works really well. As long as the popos stay away and they don't try and rigidly enforce the 20km/h speed limit, which, if you look at my other video, bollocks. That's enough from me about this. Ride safely, drive rarely, and you may well see me riding across bridges in Brisbane because it's a river city and I like the river. See ya.